You are tuned into Kids.
In the pit.
Hey guys, it's Gabe from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today I'm being joined by Eric Phillips from Riot Dogs. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So my band World of Chaos just did a 9-day tour. Not only did you book us a show at the famous punk club Vino's in Little Rock, we got to open for your band Riot Dogs. Thanks again for helping me make our tour happen. It was
Of
awesome.
course.
Um, So before we talk about Riot Dogs, let's talk about Vino's. So they opened in 1990, so 36 years ago, and some bands that have played there include Green Day, Evanescence, and Fugazi. What are some other famous bands that have played there, and what makes Vino's so legendary?
Oh man. Well, I was born in 1991, so it opened in 1990. Yeah, I mean it's the oldest microbrewery, pizza shop. But before it was Vino's, it was the back room was a place like called TMZ or DMZ, not TMZ, DMZ. But they also did punk shows and just shows in general. But yeah, I mean DRI's played there. One of the old GMs, Scottish Bride, he told me a cool story. A band came through, the power went out. It was before this band was big or anything. But the vocalist came up to Brian and said, "Hey man, can we just do an acoustic show in the front, where there was still some light coming through the window?" And Brian said, "Of course." And Drive-By Truckers did an acoustic set in, the front of the restaurant, which was really cool. I heard.
Yeah, it's
Um,
cool. Wow.
yeah, Cro-Mags has played there. I've seen, I Hate God. You know, Anti-Scene.
Has Crowbar played there?
I'm sure I haven't seen them there, but
Said I hate God. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
they tour a lot together.
yeah, yeah. I think it was like Cro-Mags was touring with I Hate God at the time that I seen I Hate God there. A lot of Pentagram. Uh, yeah, so many awesome bands have played there.
Okay, it says what? Wait, when was that? Crowbar played there when? When was that? Is that 2021 or is that 2011?
Oh yeah, actually no, they did play there. I mean, I guess fairly recently.
Says 2011, so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. When you were born. Yeah. Wait, I thought it said 2021. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
2011. Okay, yeah, that's the year my daughter was born too. So,
Okay. Yep. November 3rd, 2011.
yep. I bet CT
Um,
booked that one.
who did?
CT, he promotes a lot of shows around here and books a lot
Okay.
of stuff. He was the vocalist for Wake. They were signed to Relapse Records.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, Vino's pizza was amazing and the root beer floats were awesome. Um, I don't know if you heard, but we were gonna get two pizzas because that's what they were offering, but then we were like, well, we don't need two pizzas because we're only three people. Um, So what if we get a pizza and two root beer, or did we do three root beer floats? Three root beer floats, and they agreed. So
Yeah, man, for sure.
yep,
We definitely like to take care of whoever's in town.
yep, yeah. Vino's is awesome. So
Yep.
the sound was great too. It might have been the best sound of the whole tour.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Uh,
Jackson. He's a great sound guy.
yeah, that was great.
And he
Um,
was the vocalist for my old band.
okay, cool. So how old were you when you first saw a show at Vino's?
Ooh, it's probably like 15. So I'm from a smaller town, like an hour and 20 minutes away from north of Little Rock, called Russellville. And was an awesome punk scene then. I was in like a punk band called Four Knuckle Shuffle at the time. But anyway, all my friends became Divinos. This girl that we knew said there was like some kind of festival going on, and it was like an emo metalcore festival or something. And at the time, uh, us punk kids, we didn't like emo music. We were really against all that, you know, crybaby stuff. Uh, and I'll never forget it. It was my first time at Vino's, and I was like right up front. I was just trying to impress this girl or whatever. And one of the bands, like in between one of their songs, they were like, "How do we sound?" And I was like, I'm 15. I'm a jerk for sure. And I was just like, "Horrible," really loud. And the guy was like, "Who said that?" Blah blah blah. And of course, my friend was like pointed at me, and the guy got all in my face. And I was 15, so he couldn't hit me or anything, I don't think. But
Yeah,
it was funny. I wish I knew what that band was called. But yeah, that was my first Vino's experience.
that's funny. Well, that's crazy. Um, so what do you do in Riot Dogs?
I I'm I do vocals in Riot Dogs. The first record, I play drums and do vocals on most of the songs. And then Drew, does all the stringed instruments on most of the songs.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for the shirt and cassette, and I believe you gave um our drummer like a hat or something for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
distro. Is that your distro?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Arnie Records. That is, yeah, it's my distribution label. I started like year or two ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what year did Riot Dogs start, and were you always in the band?
Yeah, yeah. So it started just me and Drew, like I'll say like a year and a half ago or so. Um, so I help run a farm. Um, I maintain a Christmas tree farm year round. And during the season, we have a bunch of people come in and work. And Drew was one of the guys that came in and worked. Um, and he's a professional musician. That's his career. That's what he does for a living. He has a band called D France, and they tour the world, and get to open up for, acts like Journey and Warrant and Foghat um yeah, anyway, he's about to start playing, sit in and play guitar for a band called Black Oak, Arkansas, which is a, huge band from the, mid 70s. That's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, it was me and him. And he invited me to come hang out at the studio when he was recording one of his new records. And he was like, "Hey man, you want to come? This is jam." And we hit record, and the first notes that we jammed, as we weren't even Riot Dogs then, but the first song that we jammed, it's on our record, "Live Laugh Lucifer," and that whole song is like the very first chords we ever played together.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, anyway, yeah, we tossed some names around, and he came up with Riot Dogs, and yeah, that's how it started. And then I don't know, we were just gonna be a studio band, and not really do anything with it because I was doing a band called Moon Main at the time. I played drums in that band, and then he was doing his D France thing. And then we got offered to open up for Green Jello at Vino's. Um, and yeah, so we scrambled and put together a band, and I got lucky and you know, all the most talented musicians in town agreed to play with us, and yeah, so that's
That's
how
sick.
Riot Dog started.
You have that kid playing guitar who's in the opening band with his little brother, right?
Yeah, yeah, Jet. Yeah, he was also in a group called Little Rock Massacre. It was his like high school band,
Yeah,
and
you told me
they
about them.
recently just played their last show. They're amazing. You know, you know, uh, yeah, dude, he's killer for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool. How long did you have before the Green Jelly gig to create a band?
A week, I think.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
wild.
I think we practiced with the full band twice, I think. And the show went amazing, you know. It was but all we had was at a song wise, I think all we had was 9 songs or something like that. Just like the first record. Um but like I said, you know, that's why I asked the most talented people in town to see if they could do it, and they came through for sure.
It's sick. So, what genre would you consider Riot Dogs?
Um, I don't know, punk rock. We've recently just started calling ourselves mutt punk, you know, like a mutt dog. So we're like a
Yeah,
mix of, you know, rock and roll and punk rock and yeah, I don't know, we kind of I don't know, I don't like really like to give names to anything, but yeah,
yeah,
punk rock for sure.
yeah. Like, I mean, because the instrumentals to me sounded very, very punk rock, but like the vocals were, I guess, I don't know what you would even call, hmm, almost like crust punk, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I can see
Yeah.
that.
Crusty punk rock.
Yeah. So
But
yeah, mutt punk for sure.
yeah, it's a good name. But yeah, I really enjoyed your set. It was a highlight of the tour for me, for sure. So
Thank
that
you. Thank
was,
you. Yeah, you guys are too, man. And it like seeing you guys come through and touring and you're very lucky to get that opportunity and um yeah, man, it's really awesome to see you know, kids so young getting out there and doing it.
yeah, for sure. Thank you. Um, Hopefully we can try to go back next year. We're not sure what's in store.
Right.
Our guitarist definitely won't be able to go on spring break next year because like her sister is going to college, I think, and it's like her sister's last spring break with the family, so they're going on vacation. So
Okay.
she can't go on tour for spring break, but we can still do a two-piece or a three-piece if we get a um actual bassists in the band.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Riot Dogs might be out your way, you know,
Yeah.
sometime next year or this year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'd love to hop on another bill with you guys.
Awesome.
All right, so what was the first punk metal or hardcore show you went to, and how old were you?
Um, so when I was younger, you know, I was in and out of juvenile detention centers. You know, I was a troubled youth. Um, and when I was your age, 13, I was in this group home. And you know, sometimes, you know, if you were on good behavior, they gave you like a weekend pass to go home and see your family. And my brother was, you know, just getting into high school, and he got into the music scene. You know, he wasn't a musician or anything, but all of his friends were. And they had this spot. It was like an apartment inside of a warehouse connected to like an auto body shop. It was called Fort Delicious. And they threw shows there. And on one of those passes, my brother took me to one of those shows, and I think it was a band called True Grit, which I eventually, you know, started a band with one of those dudes years later. It was True Grit, Taunt the Rabbits, which Adam Fawcett he did play in Riot Dogs on our first show. He's a great musician, folk, singer songwriter guy who goes on tour with like Weed Eater and all those bands. He played. I forget the other ones, but those two bands definitely played. And yeah, I was 13, maybe 14 years old, and immediately right then I was like, I'm starting a band. So whenever I was released and I came home, 14, I started a band. Or actually, I joined a band that was already a band. I kind of strong armed the vocalist out of the group and became the front man.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so where's your favorite place you've ever played a show or visited?
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Sluggos, I don't know. It's like, and we had just played Chattanooga this past weekend. Riot Dogs did. We played at Cherry Street Tavern. Um, yeah, Chattanooga's a special place, man. And everyone I know there and every band I know there is like one of my favorites. Like we got to stay the weekend or stay the night with a guy named Mayfield. And he's been in, some of the coolest bands ever, like Queer Wolf and Yo. Never mind, I can't. I don't want to know if I can cuss on this
You can.
podcast. Do I?
You can.
Okay. He was in a band called Yo Buttfuck, and they're amazing. And but anyway, yeah, Chattanooga's special. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Driving into the Smoky Mountains. Sluggos is a they have this festival called Do You Hear We? It's a 3-day festival and it's music all day, for 3 days. It's amazing. It's at a place called Sluggos and it's owned by Ash and Terry. Ash, he was in a band called Sexy, Future Virgins, River's Edge. And then Terry, she's was in a band that I think, invented the genre of folk punk. They were in a band called This Bike is a Pipe Bomb from Pensacola, Florida.
Hmm.
And anyway, they're legends and they all live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And yeah, it's the most beautiful place ever. And, you know, you drive like 5 minutes outside of downtown Chattanooga and you're at a creek called Suck Creek, and it's beautiful. You can go swimming, and yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, hopefully we can. We haven't played Tennessee yet, but maybe we should try to get a show in Chattanooga at some
Yeah,
point.
Chattanooga is definitely a place to go.
Yep. If you could live as one animal for a day and be safe from dying, what kind of animal would you choose?
Shark, great white.
Wow, cool.
I don't know. The ocean's a scary place, as someone who can't, um, you know, live underwater. Um, I don't know. It'd be cool just to go where humans can't go.
Guess it makes sense. Yeah,
And it's a shark. There's kind of you're
sharks are
kind of
cool.
safe from all other predators.
Yeah,
Most other predators, I guess, that we know of that live in the ocean.
unless megalodons are real, then you're
Yeah,
screwed.
yeah. Then you got to be kind of. But I think I'd be a cool shark. You
Yep,
know, if I could speak shark language or something, I think the megalodons would leave me alone.
maybe. All right. Do you have a favorite movie?
Ooh. All right. River's Edge. It is it's starring Crispin Glover, Keanu Reeves. I mean, dude, the cast is amazing. And every line in that movie is sampleable. You know, you can sample anything from that movie.
Wait, what? My mom said I watched it when I was like 10. What movie is
That's
that?
like one of my favorite movies ever.
Wait, is it the one where they like run across the train tracks?
No,
No, it's Stand By
it's the
Me.
one
River's Edge is,
they're like thrash
hey,
metal dudes. I need a sixer for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Uh,
like, a
big
bunch
guy
of high
kills the
school
girl.
kids, one of their
Yeah,
friends
we're gonna watch it again
murders.
tonight.
God damn it.
Yeah,
It's great, and
Wait,
it
what
has
is it?
like Halloween on the soundtrack. The big guy in high school killed the girl down by the river, and then the guys were like kind of
Oh wait, I think I kind of
and it's
trying.
kind of like, and it's just, how high school kids, try to keep a secret, but you can't. And it's
I
just
think I
like,
remember a little bit.
young friendship and, what you will do for your friends. And I don't know, it's a really good movie.
Okay. Now it's kind of ringing a bell. There's a
Yeah.
trailer going on. Yeah,
And I
I
also
remember.
like another movie called, I don't know, I really like troubled youth movies, and there's like I think it's early 80s. It's called Outer Edge, kind of just about a bunch of kids who lock their parents inside a high school and kind of take over their town, in a way with vandalism and I don't know. I guess it's just a bunch of kids coming up in like a suburban neighborhood and I don't know, rebelling against.
I don't know that one. We could watch it.
Yeah, I think it's on YouTube and Tubi. All those both those movies I think are on Tubi.
Cool.
Okay.
I have River's Edge DVD.
Yeah, great movie.
It was like my favorite movie as a kid.
All right, if you could tell your 14-year-old self anything at all, what would you tell him?
Ooh, 14-year-old me, man. I don't know, man. Like, I kind of, I've been through a lot of, really crazy situations and um been through a lot of heartache and stuff in that time. But where I'm at now, I think I needed every bit of it. Um so I don't think I'll tell myself anything. Uh I don't think I would give myself any advice that I didn't have to learn on my own. I don't know. That's
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't tell myself anything because, yeah, I don't know. I wound up exactly, I think, where I need to be.
Nice. Perfect. Um, all right, do you have anything else to add before we wrap it up?
Uh, I don't know. Yeah, uh, check out Riot Dogs and all the bands on Arnie Records. We have we're about to hit the studio and probably put out another album in a couple of months. Start a band with your friends and go on tour. Um, Learn a sustainable skill and um, don't believe all the lies. Educate yourself.
Cool. All right, well, thanks to Eric for joining me today. Thanks to all you for watching and listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next week, bye.
Later.